Cursed is the man who does the work of the Lord with slackness. In the old days, if a believer worried about the state of the world, he was taught not to be right in the head and was destined for confinement in the tower. Today, it's just the opposite. A believer is destined for confinement in the tower if he is not concerned for and doesn't feel pain over the prevailing conditions in the world. You see, in the old days, those who governed the world had God in them, whereas today many of those who govern have no faith at all. Nowadays, many of them are trying to destroy everything: the family, youth, the church. Today, when one is concerned over the condition of our nation, then that's a confession of faith in itself, because the state is opposing the divine law. It's legislating laws that are contrary to the law of God. There are also some who are completely indifferent. They don't believe in the church and they don't recognize the nation either. To have their peace of mind, they say, Saint Paul himself teaches that one should not be concerned about the affairs of the world. And they just don't care. But that's not what Saint Paul meant. During his time, the pagan nations were in power. Some people severed their ties from the state and turned to Christ. Since they had become soldiers of Christ at a time when the whole world was pagan, St. Paul's message was, don't get involved in affairs of the state. However, when St. Constantine the Great came to power and Christianity prevailed, the great Christian tradition was gradually established through the churches, the monasteries, and through art, the rule of faith and worship, and so on. As such, we have a responsibility to maintain all of these traditions and not allow the enemies of the church to abolish them. I have even heard spiritual fathers advising their spiritual children, don't get involved in affairs of the state. Now, if they had attained such a high level of sanctity through prayer that they didn't care about anything worldly, then I would be the first to kiss their feet. But they are only indifferent. They don't want to rock the boat. Indifference is unacceptable even among worldly people, and even less so among spiritual people. An honorable spiritual person should do nothing indifferently. The prophet Jeremiah exhorts us by saying, Cursed is he who does the work of the Lord with slackness.